Jewish Channel's Week in Review. Another move in the effort to restart peace talks, helping the Jewish needy this holiday season, and more of the Jewish news that's changing your world right now on this episode of the Week in Review. Hello, and welcome to the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. I'm Stephen I. Weiss. The push for movement on Israeli-Palestinian peace talks could be close to a major precondition for further negotiations this week. The on-again, off-again Israeli-Palestinian peace talks currently seem to be stalled due to the recent expiration of Israel's freeze on new settlement construction. But Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said that a plan for a new freeze is, quote, very promising after her meetings with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Meantime, there's controversy over statements about Israel and the White House from the man who will become the most prominent Jewish member of Congress in January, when Republicans take over the House of Representatives. Virginia Congressman Eric Cantor, who is set to become majority leader in the Republican Congress, met with Netanyahu last week and told Netanyahu that the Republican House will, quote, serve as a check, unquote, on the administration of President Barack Obama. But where Cantor's remark was largely interpreted as suggesting the House would override the White House's foreign policy and generated much controversy because of that, Cantor's spokesperson stepped in this week to say that Cantor's remarks to Netanyahu were, quote, not in relation to U.S.-Israel relations. On a separate issue of Israel's relationship with Jews in the diaspora, the size of the Ethiopian Jewish community in Israel is about to expand by 8,000, as Israel's cabinet has approved a plan to increase Ethiopian Jewish immigration over the next 4 years. As to Jewish community resources here in the United States, a $43 million synagogue construction effort that was facing the possibility of never being completed received an anonymous donation of $20 million this week. The Lincoln Square Synagogue on Manhattan's Upper West Side had seen construction delays due to cost overruns and, faced with uncertainty in recent weeks, announced it was seeking alternatives to its original plans and that its synagogue president had resigned. This $20 million infusion, which requires the synagogue to raise $3 million from other donors, means that the synagogue construction will likely proceed. But how is your synagogue building doing? Even if it's structurally sound, it could perhaps use some more green technology. That's the thought behind a new effort in the conservative movement to remodel its synagogues. Rebecca Honig-Friedman reports.
It may seem like everyone's going green these days, but a new Sustainable Synagogues initiative marks the first time a major North American religious movement has decided to green all of its congregations almost at once.
How does a synagogue do more than just a recycling campaign, but actually reduce its carbon footprint and become an example to other sacred communities and for-profit communities and individuals that associate with that synagogue?
The Sustainable Synagogues Initiative is a partnership between the three lay arms of the conservative movement: the United Synagogue of Conservative Judaism, the Women's League for Conservative Judaism, and the Federation of Jewish Men's Clubs, in partnership with the Jewish National Fund and Green Faith, an interfaith coalition dedicated to making religious institutions more environmentally friendly.
We developed a joint proposal to green our synagogues. The idea being, if we can green our synagogues, we could also change the attitudes of the people who go to synagogues.
And with 652 member congregations in the United Synagogue of Conservative Judaism, or USCJ, this greening campaign has the potential to reach far more people than any previous Green Faith initiative.
Rather than doing it, by congregations that are interested, or congregations that Green Faith would have to approach and cajole, lead into participating in this initiative, we are delivering an entire network of synagogues to be part of it.
For more on the conservative movement's Sustainable Synagogues initiative, tune into the full broadcast version of the Week in Review.
Thank you, Rebecca. With the American holiday season upon us, winter weather and economic difficulty can mean that the needy among us are left without. Christian Need reports on one effort to bring kosher turkeys to the Jewish families who are without.
With Thanksgiving just around the corner, turkey is a popular item at local supermarkets. Yet for those who can't afford them, the Metropolitan Council on Jewish Poverty is there. On Tuesday, the Met Council organized a public announcement that Health Plus had donated 300 turkeys to be distributed throughout the city this season with help from several local Jewish community centers. And one by one, representatives from those various JCCs told of the important impact Met Council turkeys will have for their clients and illustrated the current need in the Jewish community.
Many of our middle-class families are now out of work. Many of them have 4 or 5 children. This turkey goes a long way to help them have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
We also have a lot of families who are out of work, and these turkeys will mean a lot to them. People are very excited about coming to get their turkeys, and we will be delivering some of those to the homebound as well.
The turkeys are very helpful for our community because of the high poverty rate in the neighborhood, and we have a lot of immigrants that are newly American, and really this helps them understand their Jewish American dream of celebrating in a dignified way.
We're receiving about 40 turkeys, and we will be making deliveries to homes of the homebound, bringing them the turkeys. And I think it's just important that people sometimes feel alone and lost, and when they know that there's people behind them in business and not-for-profit who care about them, it gives them hope. So these turkeys really are a representation of the hope that we are giving to many of our clients.
This opportunity is really an opportunity to reach out to some of the families in our neighborhood. We find that oftentimes they're not comfortable coming into our food pantry, which we do run 3 times a week, but giving them a call and saying, guess what, we're all celebrating Thanksgiving, we'd like to give you a gift to help you celebrate Thanksgiving.
But despite the increased need, Met Council CEO Willie Rapfogel said funding for those in need hasn't kept up and has actually shrunk in the current economy.
We've actually increased by about 10% the amount of money we've collected in donations from private funders, and that's really due to an extra effort. We're probably spending 40% more time to have increased that number by 10%. But where we're hurting is substantial reductions in government funding. We've been cut in the state budget by about $2.8 million because of the state's fiscal crisis, and that's resulted in layoffs and other budget cuts that has, clearly affected our ability to serve people.
To hear more about the partnership between the Met Council and Health Plus, and to hear what this local Jewish New York State Senator thinks about it, please tune into the full broadcast version of the Week in Review.
Thank you, Christian. That's all for this week. For more news and analysis from the Jewish Channel during the week, please check out our blog at newsdesk.tjctv.com. From all of us here at the Jewish Channel, be well. The Jewish Channel is available on cable: IO Optimum Cable Channel 291, Time Warner Cable Channel 528, RCN Channel 268, Verizon Fios Channel 900, and Cox Cable Channel 1. For more information, visit tjctv.com.